Hello friends. So once again we are back and with this title, which now let's see, Rona Dhonas should stop. Means enough analysis of prelims. We find that when uh, still people are stuck with analysis and what should happen, the cutoff, etc. But I guess it should end. It should stop. If now when those who are still focusing on cutoff, what should be the cutoff, they worry on cutoff and they think they are not making it, even if you have the last attempt, but then it is too much. Again we will say that you are trying to adopt something called self-defeating approach, or you want to prolong your pain. You may like prolonging your pain, because if after 1 week of prelims still you are stuck with that, whether it is on qualifying side or on just exactly on what can be the cutoff, or not qualifying side, means you are clear you are not qualifying, hence Rona Dhona Band. Enough for 1 week. Now look forward. And look forward is that you should have a roadmap for this. Draw a roadmap, and that is how we told you in past our one video that what should be the roadmap. And here let's say there are two types of roadmap. One roadmap is related to men's. We have one related to men's 2023, and another roadmap is for 2024. So we'll talk on that. So let's first focus on roadmap 2023. Roadmap 2023. So certainly it will be for men's, no need to write. And if you talk on this, what you should do? So there are three things if you talk roadmap. One is related to GS. So one is related to GS. Another is related to essay. And the third one is related to your optional. This. First time you know that you are going to adopt a strategy for GS, essay and optional. This, and going to write, let's say that tests for all. So first what you should do, do list. So you have to write tests for all, tests, and let's say we can say practice. So tests will give you enough practice. Second is learn from test. Basically people write tests. We know that multiple tests at multiple places nowadays, it is a culture. Yes, one should write it, but are you learning from what you are appearing in those test sectors? So people, we find, it is our experience that people generally do not learn, because we find that the person who is doing mistakes in test 1, the similar mistakes are done in test 7 also, test 8 also, like this. So that way you try to learn from this. And this, let's say, revision, you should improve, learn and improve on weak areas. Whatever the weak areas you have, this, improve on that. This we can consider. Right. Don't do what you should not do. Note making. It is not a time for note making. Rather, it is a time for revision. This you should not do. Second thing, mechanical test writing. Try to write on those, let's say, you may join several such tests, etc. You try to have writing practice, but you should write tests on those subjects which are challenging, which you find that you are not able to write better. Let's say when we are writing essay tests, essay test you should write when in essay test you should write the challenging topics, not the easy topics. Let's say, yes, you can select one easy topic and one very challenging topic, because in UPSC what you find? You find that you don't have option. Whatever the eight topics they have given, in that you have to write. Are you writing on difficult subjects? So don't do, let's say, mechanical test writing. It is not going to improve. You know the UPSC standard by prelims itself, mains also they will set some new standards, or they may continue with whatever the trend they have. So don't make notes. This is not a time. And let's say mechanical test writing should not be done. Which we find people that they have that they try to and write tests and they try to secure marks in test paper, but what you will do of securing test papers? Are you training in those areas to yourself which are weak areas for you? Like say in ethics you can have let's say weakness. Are you writing more on that aspect? Essay can be weakness. In philosophical essay you can be the weakness. Paper second in GS can be a weakness, or paper 1 can be, because there are some topics which are very straightforward. In GS paper 1, GS paper 3, some topics can be straightforward. When they are straightforward, when you have so many writing tests, so what is the benefit of that? Merely you are just putting information in that. Hence, do not do a mechanical type of test writing. This and too much or too many tests. Don't write too many tests. This is how I can say. So this can be a bit of the strategy when we talk about this. Although I want to tell, not going into that deeper aspect. The roadmap should be, when you are drawing the roadmap, it should start with small steps. See, those who are clear in the sense that they are, let's say, going to clear prelims, they are going to appear in mains. For them, there can be a separate strategy, I will tell. I'm talking this strategy for those people who are still in dilemma. They do not know what will be the exact cutoff. They come in their 70s, 80s, that you can consider. So for them, what we have been telling is they should adopt small steps for 20 days. 20 days. And at this small step, they should study, as we have written in comments also, you study. Let's say that you can have your internal security, you can study. You can study your, let's say, ethics, which generally people leave ethics. You can study, let's say, that let's say science and technology, which may not have studied. Or fourth one is society, you can study. By the time you can finish any one or two such spells, and hence, let's say, it will motivate you also. When the result comes, let's say that on 20th round, you will feel motivated because you have finished some of the things and you will have an edge. Those who are still waiting, they are just feel frustrated, confused, they are having lots of this and that thinking, that. So basically you are now wasting your time. After 1 week, if you are still in dilemma and you are not studying, you are wasting your time. If you have more attempts, you are again, let's say that compromising your next attempt. And if you have, let's say that limited attempts, let's say 1 or 2, and you think you may qualify, so still you are wasting this attempt also. Because days are very counted. 2.5 months you have, and you have to utilize, and 20 days would already go. So then let's say that you can imagine that. Can you do anything in 2 months? So that is how you have to understand. So it is for those, and that is how they should follow. Let's say those who are clearing, and even when you clear, so what you should do? What should be the roadmap for you? You should know that the roadmap is related to, you have basically 2.5 months. In 2.5 months, you have to plan. And plan should have, let's say that your GS, your optional, and your essay. This. Depending on the nature of your optional, what optional you have. But any optional you have in the regular optional, we say that any optional that you have regular, it can anthropology, geography, history, public administration, PSIR. So optional practice, you know that it takes time. And hence, let's say that you should plan your optional accordingly, whatever you have. And certainly the plan should be as per the test that you join. Whatever the tests that you join, test series you join, that gives itself a plan and you work as per that plan. This, like say in our, let's say we have public administration, sociology, anthropology, management. So these are, let's say, test schedules and test programs. So accordingly, let's say if you see it is uploaded on portal, website, etc. Similarly, let's say GS, this plan should also be as per tests. Whatever the test, let's say you have, we have also tests beginning from, I guess, 17th of June. People join nowadays not one test program, it is very clear. So we are very clear and we accept this reality, the fact. So it's not necessary when we are saying that you have to join here. No way. I'm also not trying to advertise. What we are trying to say is that your plan should be as per any test series that you join, any such test plan you join. That will itself give you a plan. Basically, what happens that every week you are writing a test. Test. So we have 7 days. 3 days you are writing test. And then 4 days you are left, you read, means you study. For reading or studying, you have 4 days. And 3 days you write tests. Yes, you can go and in a single day you can write. Since nowadays people believe in more test writing. So even let's say 2 days you can reserve. In single day you can write 2 tests also. So you can minimize this. But at this stage, let's say when you have whatever the strategy you have to maintain a balance. The balance between reading and writing. Generally it is said that balance is 50-50, but we will say not 50-50, rather we can say that it is 40%, 60%. This is reading and this is writing. This. Why we are saying it? Why we are saying this 60%, 40%, not 50-50? Even you can minimize this. Depending, some people can have 50, some people can have 60, 40, some people can have 70, 30. It is related to writing, it is related to reading. Basically, those who are writing mains again and again, and they have less to study, and they are just by few marks, this and that, they are not able to qualify. For them, there is a less scope to improve on knowledge side. And they may not have, let's say that much to study. They may have studied well command, they may have there, here and there, they want to bring some coherence. So on that basis, like yesterday I saw someone's copy and found that the person was above basic level but below advanced level. Some questions lacked, let's say that, coherence. So when we say coherence, etc., those people may they may have let's say need for more and more writing practice. They may have need for more writing practice. Those who have still not prepared the syllabus properly, let's say syllabus, like some of the subjects you have not prepared properly, like say ethics generally people leave, or IR they may not have studied from men's perspective, or science and technology, disaster management, some of the sections of paper 3, some of the sections society like in paper 1. So some of the topics which you may not have, even in polity paper also, some of the topics which are not mains oriented, which are not prelims oriented, pressure group, civil society, you can say social justice related part. So if you have not studied them and you have not revised properly, hence you have to come into this category. And you have to minimize on writing side, simply because पढ़ा होगा तो लिख लेगा. If पढ़ा नहीं है तो लिखेगा कैसे? So this is what we have to understand. And therefore, if you have not studied ethics, if you do not know the concept, you do not know about self-help groups, so no amount of writing practice can help you. No matter how many tests you write, but it will not help you. You write a self-help group question in one test, and that will be, let's say, framed in a particular direction. And in another test, it can be in a particular direction. And whatever the remarks they may give you that you may lack basics, you may lack this and that. So just by writing test, you cannot improve unless you know about self-help group thoroughly. Because UPSC can have a third category of question on which you have not practiced. The knowledge will help there. Because we can ask one category, another one can ask second category. UPSC can ask altogether a different category. You know UPSC better. So that is how, let's say, you should balance between what you can have 60%, 40% we say generally. Because we believe in the fact that पढ़ा है तो लिख लेगा. This लिखा है तो पढ़ लेगा नहीं. पढ़ा है तो लिख लेगा. That is how we say this. And that you should carry in mind. Revision is very important. Recall is very important. Key points are very important. Try to memorize, try to, let's say, focus on the key points in the answers that we write. And that way, let's say that you can have your plan for 3 months or 2.5 months. In that plan, let's say that you should, when the mains examination starts, let's say, so before that, at least 15 days, your plan should end, whatever the plan we start, it should end before 15 days. And give the 15 days for revision, for yourself, for thinking, for planning, for pondering, for strategizing, what you have learned, lots of things you have gone through. You may watch lots of strategy sessions, you may learn from different types of toppers of past years, etc. And you may have yourself written so many tests, so many remarks, etc., so many discussions you may watch. And finally, you have to give time to yourself so that you can be yourself, because you have to bring your own distinctiveness in this mains examination, in your answers, in your copy. Let's say that when you are submitting, it's going to write in UPSC, then there should be reflection of any uniqueness of your personality, any uniqueness of your writing skill. The way I have my uniqueness, my way of telling, so I cannot teach others' way. I can teach the way I have been, let's say, teaching. So the question is, everyone has his her own uniqueness, and that uniqueness becomes character, and that has, let's say, that relevance in UPSC. That's why every year you can learn from different people, those who come in top ranks, they secure marks, etc., among highest. They can share you some new experience they may have, some new strategy they may have, some new planning they may have. This, and that way you can say that this year, let's say, rank 3, when she came for session in our institute. So what she was saying? She was saying that she just wrote everything in key points. Just key points, no explanation, key points. What was the strategy that, see, since ethics paper was so huge, means so, let's say that lengthy, Hence, completion of paper was the main aspect. So that is how we can see that this is what her, let's say, that is thinking, and what, let's say, she can maintain. That's what you have to learn. You have to give time, because we know that students join so many tests and they start, let's say, writing tests. In that process, many a time they are not able to revise properly. This is one. They are not learning from their test. That is second. And let's say that they lack proper focus, the key aspects, that you can say third aspect. Hence, when you give time to yourself in learning and improving, even you write 1 and 2 tests, no, that is, let's say, in mains examination it will suffice. Because if you have no problem in writing, some people do not have problem in writing, some people have problem in writing, they should have writing practice, but some people do not have problem in writing. Some people problem lies with the knowledge, and I will tell you that most of the people lack proper knowledge. Very few people we get that they struggle with writing, especially those who are having the level of mains. That people I am talking. I'm not talking about those who have started. Those people who have reached to the level of mains, that standard, if you see, then largely we find that people lack appropriate knowledge, good substance. The substance is lacking in their answer. Rather, they have the information type of answer. Hence, your focus should be, when you have this roadmap for 2.5 months, 15 days you keep for yourself for revision, improvement. Rest you go by what we have been saying, that this kind of practice, plus you can divide into the 3 categories, and let's say that small steps you can start this as of now, and that is how I wanted to share for this roadmap. And next time I would try to focus on optional, especially public administration. So by these small, let's say that videos, we want to help you so that you can start taking off. So you were on the runway and UPSC made you run a lot for 1 week. Let's take off and then reach in the flight mode. So all the best.